Hello everyone, my name is Louis-Félix Simard. I am currently in Springboard and I am going to study in naval navigation next year. So I'm going to choose this global subject because it is more interesting. The subject I'm going to talk about today is tides. I am going to explain to you what they are, why they matter in naval navigation, and also what causes them and how they work. So what are they? They are different elevations of water that you can observe, primarily in rivers and oceans. So during the day, there's going to be two high tides and two low tides. So the high tides is just going to be higher water, and low tides are going to be lower water. This is how beaches are formed, just because of the waves also. Why is it important to navigation? It is very important because when you are a navigator, it is important to know if there are rocks in the river or something like that that can pierce the hull and sink your ship. So this is very not good. And when you go in the river, it's important to know what tides are and to go at the good moment for the high tide to be there. So you're going to be further away from these dangerous objects. How they work. Everything in the universe has its own gravity. The bigger you are, the more mass you have, the more gravity you're going to have. The moon is really big, but not compared to the Earth. So the Earth's gravity makes it orbit around it, and also the sun is much bigger and the Earth rotates, orbits around the sun. But even though the moon is smaller than the Earth, it still has that gravity, that gravitational force. So it is going to affect the Earth in some ways. The tides are one example. How they work is that the gravity of the moon is going to stretch the water a little bit towards it, and also pull the Earth a little bit. So what you're going to end up with is two bulges on either side of the Earth, and these are the high tides, and also on the side where it's much more thin, where the water got stretched to the sides, it is going to be much smaller, which we call small tides. The same process also happens with the sun, so you're going to end up with four bulges around the Earth. This is why we have multiple tides a day, two to be exact. And how we switch between them, it's just because the Earth rotates inside of these tides, and we see the water go up and down, but in reality we're just going around in circling between these tides. So it is really important to navigation, as I said, and there is also multiple phenomena that happen with the lunar cycle. So when the cycle is at its apex with the full moon, which means that the Earth is in the middle of the sun and the moon, the two tides are going to combine and form massive tides. This is why we have the big tides, and also during that same lunar cycle, during that same full moon, we are going to have much more low tides. This is called spring tides. There is also neap tides, which are the exact opposite, when the moon is at a 90-degree angle between the sun and the Earth. This will cause the tides to just cancel each other out, basically, so we're going to have very low tides all around the globe. The tides happen every 12 hour and 25 minutes approximately. This is and every day you are going to get tides 50 minutes afterwards because of the rotation of the Earth that is faster than the rotation, the orbit of the moon. So this is why we have two tides a day. And yeah, so in conclusion, I talked about what tides are, how important they are to naval navigation, and also what causes them, which is the sun and the moon and their gravitational force. My sources for this oral presentation are Neil deGrasse Tyson on the YouTube channel Star Talk, where he explains it. When he explained how tides work, and also the video How Do Tides Work by Brain Stuff on YouTube also, and I also looked on Wikipedia the tide page. Thank you very much for listening to me, and have a great evening.